Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Is Sheila's grim job for Remy endangering Steffy's life? According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester's life may be in jeopardy, particularly if Sheila Sharp decides to give Remy Price a dark job. Would Remy consider engaging in some illegal activities if he is unemployed and seeking income? Sheila knows Remy can go to some very sinister areas because of his previous run-in with the cops. Since Sheila feels a connection with Remy, she may be able to take advantage of him in the near future. This is particularly relevant given that in the upcoming months, Sheila will see Steffy as an even bigger problem. From Sheila's point of view, Steffy is already preventing her from developing a close relationship with Hayes Forrester Finnegan and John Finn Finnegan. When Sheila discovers that Steffy is attempting to prevent Finn from seeing his own child, can you imagine how incensed she will be? Sheila will undoubtedly see Steffy as the evil stepmother of this whole situation if she receives information regarding Luna's paternity. That could be what pushes Sheila over the brink and leads her to devise a scheme to remove Steffy from the situation by any means necessary. Sheila might be reluctant to get her hands filthy this time, of course. Could Sheila hire Remy to remove Steffy from the map for her since she doesn't want to ruin her marriage to Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, and run the chance of being sent back to prison? It's possible that Sheila has money hidden away somewhere because she once mentioned possessing a lot of it. Remy might think about removing Steffy on Sheila's orders if she can think of enough to justify it. It's also possible that Remy does it as a favor to Luna, since he appears to be crushing on her. In the end, Remy could utilize the more money and is now associated with Sheila and Luna. Perhaps Remy should be assigned the duty of solving Luna and Sheila's situation, as it seems like BNB is forcing these three into a plot together. That clearly does not guarantee that Remy's possible hitman assignment will succeed, but if he tries to kill Steffy, there may still be some risk. Don't miss the terrible news that's coming because our forecasts suggest that Remy may get into additional difficulty because of his connection to Sheila and Luna. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila will stop at nothing to protect her family. Steffy is adamant about sending Luna back to jail. The Bold and the Beautiful Steffy Forrester is on the warpath. A few hours after discovering that Luna Nozawa is her husband John Finn Finnegan's biological kid, she finds out that the double murderer isn't even incarcerated. Steffy had to witness firsthand that Luna was incarcerated and under house arrest on Bill Spencer's property. Like a woman on a mission, Steffy stormed through Bill's front door. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy confronted the woman who had imprisoned her. If Finn hadn't intervened to save her, Steffy would have become the third victim of Luna, who had killed two men. Only a few months ago, Steffy was drugged and imprisoned in a cage, pleading for her life as Luna laughed at her. Now, however, Steffy is the one who refuses to be lenient. Even if Luna expressed regret for the terrible things she had done to Steffy, it made no difference. Steffy wants her returned to the appropriate detention cell. After learning that she had the greatest father in the world, Finn, Luna couldn't contain her excitement as Steffy confronted her would-be murderer. Steffy became angrier every time her husband's name was mentioned. She has assured Luna that whatever crazy fantasies she may have about dating Finn will never come to pass. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy is upset with Bill for rescuing Luna. Additionally, Steffy finds it incomprehensible that Bill would use his position of authority and fame to save Luna from the penalty she is due. It's astounding how strongly he insists that Luna has changed and is apologetic. Steffy grew increasingly enraged the more he stood up for and shielded Luna. She has pledged to personally see to it that Luna is returned to her rightful place in prison. The idea that she might have more influence over Luna's destiny than he did made Bill laugh. There is no question that Steffy will exert every effort to get Luna returned to prison. Do you believe that, in the end, the Forrester name will carry more weight than Bill's? Why, in your opinion, has he been so prepared to sacrifice his everyday life for Luna? Luna is being sent back to jail by Steffy. Tuesday, March 11, 2025, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful hint that Steffy is serious with Luna. Steffy's most terrifying nightmare. Because of her husband's wild relationships, Steffy Forrester Finnegan finds it difficult to live the peaceful life she desires with her husband and kids. Finding out that Sheila Carter was her mother-in-law on her wedding day was already a terrible situation. It comes out that the young woman who left her for dead and confined her in a cage is actually her stepdaughter. When will Steffy's story come to an end? When Steffy informs Luna Nozawa that she will not be dating John Finn Finnegan, she does not take it well. Now that she is aware of her father's goodness, she realizes that she is also good. Steffy doesn't want to hear that, but she wants to prove to him that she is capable of changing. She wants to see Luna in prison once more. Read more, The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Mom goes crazy when Finn tells Lee these 3 secrets. The big move of Steffy. When Steffy summons Lieutenant Baker to Dollar Bill Spencer's home and orders him to arrest Luna and return her to prison, she believes she has everything worked out. When Baker informs her that there is nothing she can do because Luna is incarcerated, she will be shocked. She can live the good life in her prison, which is a luxurious mansion. Steffy thinks this is crazy. How is it possible for a serial killer who ought to spend the rest of his life in prison to live on a lavish estate while under house arrest and wearing an ankle bracelet? How is this fair? Punishment should not be administered in this manner. Despite everything Luna has done, she has everything she could ever need or desire. Steffy realizes that no one is even on her side, but she is not going to take this lying down. Lieutenant Baker is helpless, Bill sinks his heels in, and Luna can only celebrate her victory. What is Steffy going to do next? Although Luna has made errors, grown, and changed during her time on The Bold and the Beautiful, the basic question still stands: does she deserve Steffy's forgiveness? Tensions increased when Luna's presence upset the status quo, as Steffy Forrester has always been a strong-willed lady who fiercely defends her family and legacy. Nevertheless, when considering the issue from every perspective, it is evident that Luna is not the antagonist of this tale. Rather, she is merely a young lady enmeshed in a regrettable tornado of events beyond her control. Above all, Luna never intended to cause harm to others. Her objective was to establish herself in the fashion industry and establish her value as soon as she got to Los Angeles, not to stir up needless controversy. She had no secret plans to destroy the Forrester family, no evil purpose, and most definitely no desire to get involved in any disputes. Her failures along the way, most notably the incident that infuriated Steffy, were not the result of dishonesty, but rather of inexperience negotiating the complexity of the Forrester dynasty, uncertainty, and outside manipulation. Examining the cause of Luna's error is necessary to see why she merits forgiveness. She found herself in a precarious situation where she had a strong desire to fit in but was also being tugged in numerous directions by those around her. A challenging emotional battlefield resulted from the demands of both maintaining her identity and demonstrating her worthiness of the Forrester name. Fundamentally, Luna has always had a hard time feeling like she belonged, and when she believed she had finally found it with the Forresters, everything fell apart. But should a person be defined by a single error? People can be saved, as Steffy herself is all too well aware. She has often been offered second chances despite making dubious decisions, acting impulsively, and hurting those she loves throughout her own life. So why should that same grace not be shown to Luna? If anything, Luna's greatest transgression was not advocating for herself sooner and allowing outside forces to force her into an unmanageable predicament. It's critical to keep in mind that Luna is still developing, learning, and navigating a world full of influential people who frequently use their position to sway events to their advantage. Even though she stumbled, she has demonstrated genuine regret, and if Steffy were to stand back, she would realize that Luna's actions were motivated by a frantic attempt to act morally in a position where no other option seemed right rather than by malice. Luna's unwavering love and respect for Finn is another important factor that justifies Steffy's forgiveness. One thing has been evident from the start: Luna has a great deal of respect for Finn and would never purposefully do anything to harm him. Steffy's ideals revolve around family, and Luna has made every effort to accept and treasure the family she has found in Finn, even in the face of the chaos. In addition to cutting off her relationship with Luna, Steffy would be further dividing her own family, something she has worked so hard to prevent, if she were to permanently push Luna away. Above all, Luna has demonstrated that she is not the kind to hide from her errors. She has continuously demonstrated regret and a desire to put things right rather than offering justifications, assigning blame, or acting defiantly. Luna's willingness to own up to her mistakes and try to make amends should be significant in a world where so many characters refuse to accept responsibility for their deeds. Steffy takes pleasure in her ability to be fair, to know when to give grace and when to stand her position, and Luna's circumstances call for the latter. Steffy also needs to think about how external factors contributed to the whole situation. Despite being at the heart of the debate, Luna was not the one who planned the mayhem. She was persuaded, misinformed, and eventually placed in a situation where her judgment was impaired. If Steffy were to do a thorough analysis of the situation, she would discover that the manipulations of those who aim to sow dissension among the Forrester family, rather than Luna herself, are the true problem. Should Luna ultimately bear the consequences of other people's cunning? Or should Steffy see the wider picture and realize that Luna's role was more complex than it first appeared to be? Finn himself should be taken into account as well. Although Steffy's love for Finn is evident, loving someone also entails appreciating and understanding those who are significant to them. By continuing to harbor animosity, Steffy runs the risk of straining her relationship with Finn, who has made it obvious that he wants Luna in his life. Forgiveness implies making room for development and healing, not forgetting or blindly trusting. In addition to giving Luna another chance, Steffy's decision to forgive her will strengthen the bonds of trust and unity in her own marriage. Ultimately, Luna is not the adversary. She is a young woman who erred, and her error was exacerbated by events that were much out of her control. Steffy has the ability to change this circumstance from one of ongoing animosity to one of healing. She would recognize that Luna has done more than enough to demonstrate her worthiness for forgiveness if she were to step back, take emotion out of the picture, and consider Luna as a complete person rather than simply a moment of poor judgment. Steffy has always been a strong leader who takes risks and sticks with them. However, being a genuine leader also entails understanding when to show mercy. Retaining anger just serves to further divide people, cause them additional suffering, and make it more difficult for them to move on. Steffy now has the upper hand after Luna put in a lot of effort to show herself. Whether Steffy is willing to let go of her rage long enough to realize that Luna is not the villain she has painted her as is the question, not whether Luna deserves forgiveness. If there is one thing that the Bold and the Beautiful has always shown us, it is that redemption is always possible. Luna's journey has been one of heartbreak and resiliency. Steffy has two options: she can either keep holding grudges or she may decide to grow, learn, and forgive. The response ought to be obvious. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, and her sister Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, just reconciled. But Lee will be upset because she buried that hatchet too hastily, as she will soon discover. Lee will attempt to alienate her sister on her own because of her previous actions. Is Poppy going to live? Lee Finnegan is astonished by her hearing. Lee appears to be on the verge of discovering that she has been a grandma for more than 2 decades and was unaware of it. It goes without saying that Lee might hear this information from someone in Steffy's family sooner rather than later from John Finn Finnegan. In any event, Lee is not at all pleased. Lee had nowhere to stay at the moment, so she let her sister remain in her home. Lee trusted Poppy to help her around the house when she needed it. But rather than pitching in with housekeeping, etc., Poppy took advantage of Lee's son, Finn, a gullible college student attempting to earn his degree. Confronting Poppy Nozawa Lee Finnegan. Lee was aware that Poppy was having problems at her place. But while Poppy was living there, Lee erroneously believed that she had an affair with her husband and became pregnant. Lee's inability to trust her spouse has caused her to have problems with him for years. When Lee learned about Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, she decided to divorce Jack Finnegan, Ted King, because of Poppy. Lee feels bad for not defending her son. Lee placed Poppy in that home so she could woo Finn and conceive a child with him, after all. Naturally, Poppy's failure to tell Finn the truth has angered Lee. The fact that her sister would use her son is what Lee is more angry about. Poppy had grown up enough to understand. Lee Finnegan attributes this entire mess on Poppy Nozawa. Lee's only goal is to hold her sister accountable for abusing her son. After what she has done, Lee will be honest with Poppy about her feelings. After that, Lee wraps her hands around Poppy's neck and starts strangling her. Who will intervene to save Poppy before Lee kills her for her actions? Even though he might question why, Finn is likely to end up saving Poppy. Because his mother must be grateful for her career, Finn cannot let her kill Poppy. Lee does not wish to be imprisoned for committing murder. Before it's too late, is Finn able to persuade Lee to back off? Now that all has been revealed, will Poppy leave town? The Bold and the Beautiful will pick up where it left off on Friday, when Carter Walton entered the design studio and saw Daphne Rose and Hope Logan looking quite nervous. As you recall, Hope instructed Carter to return Daphne to Paris. The intriguing part of Monday's preview is that Hope and Daphne are arguing over Carter and are taken aback by his response. You would think that he would comply with her wishes. They are shocked by his response, because it doesn't work that way on Bold and the Beautiful, but he stays with her until giving in and saying, Daphne, you should go back to Paris. He claims that because it's better for Forrester, he wants Daphne to stay. Hope is furious and incredulous, and she leaves. Next week, however, Brooke Logan will also inquire about Hope's relationship with Carter. And that follows this confrontation. March 10th to 21st Bold and the Beautiful 2-week spoilers, Sheila unhinged, Bill defends, Lee attacks. Steffy's fury, Bill's defense and Luna's arrest at home. The news that Luna Nozawa is under house arrest with the ankle monitor at Bill shocks Steffy Forrester, who is on B&B. She swore to Luna last week that she would never see Finn again and that she simply wanted to get rid of her. Bill will then enter the discussion, and Steffy will turn against him. She questions whether he's sincere about it and believes he shouldn't be doing this. Yes, he replies. Bill will not be persuaded by Steffy's argument, even though she reminds him that Luna attempted to kill her. Given that they both had difficult upbringings, he feels a strong bond with Luna. And he will most likely have to battle her about this. And Bold and the Beautiful is going to become a lot of messy. Carter's predicament, Ridge and Eric's demand. Ridge and Eric Forrester will be in the office on Tuesday. According to the Forrester guys, Carter is present and they believe the former Carter is still there. The person they admire, trust, and consider to be family. It appears that things are about to change, and Carter is telling him that he regrets that it got to this. Steffy, meantime, notifies the police because she will not tolerate this threat to her sanity. Baker, the detective, goes to the Spencer mansion. She desires that he return Luna to prison. Baker might not be able to do much if Bill has legitimate orders releasing her into his custody, but Steffy won't stop. Bill has threatened to send Luna back to prison if anyone discovers her presence, but it's possible that this was merely a tactic to keep her in line. This week on Bold and the Beautiful, I suppose we'll get to put that hypothesis to the test. Finn's family secrets, Sheila's compassion and Lee's response. Finn visits Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, his adopted mother, on Wednesday, March 12th, and discusses all the ugly soap opera drama. He admits to her that when he was 18, he had an affair with Poppy Nozawa. That Bill freed Luna from house detention and that she is his child. Steffy is upset with Luna since he has an ankle monitor, and so on. All of this is going to cause Lee to have a very powerful physical reaction. Since Finn was very naive and young and had never dated a woman before, I hope she doesn't hold him responsible. I do believe that Poppy on Bold and the Beautiful will be the target of the majority of her ire. Deacon Sharp asks why Sheila is so sympathetic to Poppy, and I'm sure she apologizes for not being able to see her daughter because Luna is incarcerated, just as Sheila is unable to see Finn because of Steffy. But after the huge news is revealed, everything will be different. Steffy's ultimatum and a physical altercation between Lee and Poppy. Then, on Thursday, March 13th, on Bold and the Beautiful, Lee and Poppy's argument just keeps getting out of hand. It becomes rather physical. Poppy will be slammed into the wall by Lee. After a turn of events, she screams about her pursuing her son Finn and strangles her. To be honest, you can't claim that Poppy isn't deserving of what is occurring. We'll see whether Lee can gather herself and perhaps avoid killing her sister. Speaking of confrontations, we get another one between Steffy and Luna, which is quite ugly and concerns Finn and the future of this whole complex issue. Bill opposes Luna's incarceration. Finn doesn't want her behind bars, in my opinion. Although he's in the worst possible situation, he doesn't want her to run loose and endanger Steffy. However, as was the case with Sheila, Steffy's demands might not be successful this time. Carter's ultimatum from Ridge and Eric, hope is the fly in the ointment. Speaking of ultimatums, Ridge and Eric deliver Carter one on Friday, March 14th. I believe they will say, you know, this is it, this is your last chance to get Hope out of your life, give back the company, and reintegrate into the family. The Forresters claim that she is toxic. That's what they're saying, not what I'm saying. It'll be history, we'll rehire you as COO, and we can all move on with our friends, family, and other positive things. However, Carter, you know, this is your last chance, and Hope is the fly in the ointment. They're going to tell him that, I believe. Daphne, who is still in town, is frantically trying to convince Carter that Hope is taking advantage of him and that he has lost a lot of things in his life as a result of her. I believe Daphne will persuade him to comply with their request and accept the ultimatum in order to regain his life. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, upcoming arguments and possible splits. Even if Lee doesn't murder Poppy, their relationship as sisters is over for good from March 17th until the 21st. Poppy will leave town with her hippie bag if she's clever. If not, a lot of people would despise her and she will be a huge target. Because Sheila might give it a go if Lee doesn't strangle Poppy to death. You know, if Steffy bumps into Poppy, she may be strangled twice this week, or perhaps 3 times. When Sheila learns that Poppy cheated on Finn when he was hardly an adult and that Luna is his child, she will no longer feel sorry for Poppy, even though the lies have been told for years. Carter will only have one girlfriend after he leaves this difficult scenario with Hope and Daphne, but which one will it be? Carter dumps Hope on Bold and the Beautiful, according to the Forresters. He might regain his former life if he does, minus a brand new French girlfriend. Carter Walton is given another opportunity. Daphne appears to be a far more acceptable choice for Carter because the Forresters firmly believe in her. After releasing Luna from prison and placing her under house arrest, Bill might not be the most popular person for some time. Steffy is furious. She wants Luna to return to prison. Bill will definitely fight it. Finn will definitely fight it. Jack Finnegan might participate, that would be entertaining. The issue is that Finn's marriage will deteriorate if he assists in keeping Luna out of jail. The marriage between Steffy and Finn is already on the verge of collapse. And things will probably get worse in the near future. On Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy promised Luna that Finn would never be a part of her life. Although she stated that Luna would never see him again, it is obvious that Finn will not abandon his daughter.